welcome back everyone to Master Game Design, Unreal Engine 5 Stylized Environment and Third-Person Blueprint course. In the last lesson, we left ourselves off by creating this nice roof over here, which blends in nicely with this section. We left this bit of a gap over here, so we're just going to go ahead and fix it. The easiest way for us to do that would simply be just to grab a roof. We're just going to search for a roof within Egyptian Pack Harbor. We're going to just add it in just like that. It needs a bit of rotating, and I'm not too worried about this roof having low resolution, since the player is going to find it difficult to be walking around on this anyways, or anything of the sort. And yeah, that looks quite alright. We might also consider adding windows in the back, so let's go ahead and search for those. And I will probably be just adding simple windows. I'm not quite sure which ones I'd like to add actually. Maybe these ones over here. Simple type of windows like so, and that would just look quite nice, I think, just like that. And yeah, that looks quite nice, I reckon. I'm going to click one, just see how it looks like from a distance, and it is, as you can see over here, it is quite visible, but I don't think it distracts the view from the scenery itself. It just in some way helps to break up this dark surface from the shadow and whatnot. So I think it's going to look much better overall. Okay, so this part, what we need to do is, well, first of all, we need to go ahead and hide this section over here. So I'm going to grab the roof from that other area. I'm going to hold Alt and just dragging it down like so. And then we need to also consider, well, we need to consider putting the gate over here, which is going to be more of a gameplay related part, but it's not going to impact the visuals of this area. We might need to grab a way to hide the gate though. So what I mean by that is, if we were looking for a door, we should find ourselves a nice, simple based kind of a door. So I think this one over here, we can just put it off on the side and make this quite a bit larger even. So this is the type of gate that we're going to have, like so. And we're just going to put it like so, and from this side is going to look quite alright as well. Maybe straighten it up. So this is how it's going to look like from this distance over here. It might be a little bit too large of a gate actually, even might even make it a little bit smaller, just like that. And there you go, the pattern here is quite nice looking. So what we want is basically, we'll be just raising this up, and we need to make sure that it creates an illusion that there is a bit of an extra to go on. Oh, a button by accident. We need to make sure that we are able to hide this out of the way. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make sure I have a certain building part over here that just touches this top section of the gate just a little bit. And for us to do that, we're just going to maybe find a block. For that, we can find a wall. You just make use out of a wall, a simple and nice type of a wall. There you go. Just going to go ahead and build it around it a little bit, just like that. Like so. And as for the sides, we can probably get ourselves some pillars. Go ahead and look for columns actually. There you go. We're going to basically put the very basic type of a column over here and bring it outwards, just like that, like so. The wall, let's just make sure it's looking quite alright. And there you go. Although the back is not going to be as visible, it's going to be quite alright in hiding this out of the way, like so. We might even make them thicker just a little bit. Oh, actually I made a mistake. Need to grab this one separately and just make it thicker like so. Make this thicker as well, or actually this time I'll just go ahead and duplicate it, since I don't want to have some inconsistencies with in regards to its size. So, and there is a bit of a gap over here, which I think the easiest way for me to hide it would be to just grab these columns again and just shove it in the back like so. And I will simply do it like so. Maybe I'll just grab these a little bit inwards, shove it down like that. Yeah, it looks like from the side it's not going to be visible in this particular case, so I'm not even worried about that. But it's just nicer to look at from the back itself actually. If the gate is opened, it's going to be something like this, and I think that's going to be much better overall. Okay, so what we also have is maybe a couple of windows over on this end as well. So let's go ahead and check the windows. We can go ahead and add some of them just like that. One over here and one over here. Or even I'm considering adding a balcony on this section, since otherwise it looks quite flat from this area. We're not even worried about the overall view from this perception, but when we get as a player into this area, it's going to look quite a bit flat perhaps. So maybe adding a balcony over here would look quite nice. Let's go ahead and do that actually. We're going to grab all of these. Now with this selection, we can go ahead and hold Alt, duplicate it off to the side. But as you can see, the folder itself is going to still have Luxury House 1. I'm just going to go ahead and right click, move it. And I'm just going to move it to the map itself. I'm not really worried about creating a folder for this section. I think it's going to be quite alright. I'm only going to use this once. And I'm just going to help use this to help break up this entire form a little bit. Just like that. Alright, so let's make sure that it's properly placed though. In the middle, just like that. Alright, I quite like this. We can go ahead and keep it as is. We might need to take this off a little bit actually. Or since it's grouped up, I'm not going to worry about it too much. It's going to be quite okay. So this part as well, let's go ahead and make sure that we close this off. Although we shouldn't even worry about it too much because we're going to use landscape for this to help us break that off. And yeah, we're pretty much done with this section. We also need to consider how this entrance is going to work for us. We click 1 and go to levels. You can see we have a couple of buildings to help us break it down. The boats are a little bit getting in the way actually, so might even consider about hiding them, which I might even do right away actually, since I don't want it to be getting in the way. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab the boats, hide them out of the way for now, like that, and just seeing how this looks like without the boats. So yeah, we definitely need to just narrow down this area. This looks a little bit too opened up for this particular part. And we also, if we're doing the quest, we got to make sure that you know, this is closed off nicely altogether. But this is going to be quite a simple task for us. All we got to do is just grab a simple square setup. So I'm just going to actually go all the way to the back, like so, and see which area we have. I will actually grab one of the cubes that we have over here. Going to hold Alt, put it off to the side, like so. And then we can just play around with the overall setup. As you can see over here, we have 2 buildings that are nicely placed on this area. I'm going to actually just expand this entire section just a little bit so it would be a little bit higher. I'm going to hold Alt, put this other one over here, and now we can turn off a gray box and place some roofs over on top. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to actually select one of the roofs. So it's just searching for roofs. So this roof over here, I'm going to just nicely place it in, just like that. And that's already looking quite a bit better overall. So we also need to make sure we all add a nice door. I'm going to hit Shift G for both, like that. And I just realized I'm going to click Control Z actually. The reason being is I don't want them to be ungrouped just like that. I want to actually have certain control over them. So I'm going to hold Shift, select all of them, and then create a folder and just call it 2 houses or something of the sort for this folder. Or 2 huts actually, that would be better. So there we go, we got ourselves these done. We can now hit Shift G and just deselect them all. I'm going to go ahead and remove this duplicate. Going to find a door that I'd want to make use out of. So this is a nice door over here. Just making sure that we are rotating it around like so. We might need to lower down the scale, just like that, to put it back in. I'm going to remove this one and just duplicate it over to the other side as well, just like that. I think this looks quite nice overall. We got ourselves a couple of entrances for some storage area and whatnot. So this is looking quite alright. Maybe we might consider breaking off this wall with some windows and whatnot. But keep in mind that we're also going to have certain props so we can do fine-tuning and adding detail overall later down the line. For now though, we got ourselves a nice front for the section. We still have everything in the back, which we're going to continue on with it in later down the line. But as you can see over here, we need to basically have like a more of a closed off section. We need to have this sort of a slum area and this section over here at the front that would help us to break off this entire silhouette. So yeah, we're going to continue on with this in the next lesson. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you.